Coffee being the main essential and main currency used in the penitentiary. Let's break it down. Okay, so behind me you got a photo of that Keefe yellow bag, which is the main coffee people try to have in jail. It's the main brand they sell in jail, but they also sell others like Maxwell House, Taster's Choice. I had to think about that for a second. My bad. That's like the main one that people want, but it's expensive. So they sell this Keefe yellow bag. They sell the blue Maxwell House, which is like a dark roast, and Folgers, which is crystals. That's why I made this video to kind of go into the different types. Folgers is like a jar usually. Crystals. You have Keefe has yellow, which is Colombian, blue, which is a different freeze-dried Colombian, green, which is decaf, and orange, which was my favorite Keefe. It's called Alturo. I don't really know the difference, but you got all those, right? And then you have, like I said, Taster's Choice, which is the most expensive, and it's actually a really good coffee. I bought some at Walmart when I first came home. Mind you, all these coffees are instant. You just drop it right in some hot water, you're good to go. If you ever wondered how it works, most prisons have what they call 190, which is a faucet that literally runs really, really hot water. And a lot of times, people might get it restricted by using that hot water for the wrong reasons. But for the most part, they got it in the dorm. And if they don't, like in the county jail, you just got to microwave it. And if they don't got a microwave, you're having lukewarm tap water coffee, which is the whole point of why it's instant. Drop 2 spoons of that in there, boom. So that takes me into the next thing. A lot of people sell this like it was, like they're hustling other things out here on the streets. You drop 2 spoons in a baggie, tie it off. There's a soup or whatever, Kool-Aid stick. So inside the penitentiary and county jails, each place has its own market, black market on the land. From what I've saw within Ohio ODRC's, system, they got you have a soup which fluctuates in price, but usually it's 25 to 30 cents a soup. And that right there will buy you one shot of coffee or one Kool-Aid stick, which you also get 8 Kool-Aid sticks for $1 or $1.50. It depends on where you're at. So let's say you're at a place, you buy one box for $1. You do the math, you're already good. Even if it's not a lot of profit, you could do that multiple times. Buy 10 boxes, do that with 6 of them, the last 4, drink them. Even if you're only making a little bit of money, it's something. Something's better than nothing. Same with coffee. You get 33 or 31 actual shots of coffee in this right here. Because me and my bunkie have tried it. We measured it out. We took a spoon, 2 spoons, made piles all over the desk, wrapped them up in the bag. That's what it came out to. Now, when it comes to like the food box items, usually that's where you get the Folgers and the Taster's Choice. Some prisons have it though. I remember a time when I was in Lorraine, which is Northeast Ohio's reception, at least back then, because they don't do that no more. This dude got a fucking, food box, and his people didn't know. They must not have read the fine print. They ordered him like 7 to 10 bags of green Keefe, which is decaf. And he was my bunkie, and he ended up figuring it out slowly but surely and sold it in the block as regular coffee, which that was a maggot move for him to do that, but nobody knew. He caught on real fast that he couldn't do shit with the green bag. So he ended up, you know, people be like, hey, let me get a shot of coffee. He'd be like, all right, I got you. And he'd hook him up too. He'd give him like 3 spoons instead of 2. Little did they know that whole time it was decaf. You know, that was some random black dude from Cleveland that I didn't know. One day I was just laying there asleep and they just popped my door and he just came walking in. He was doing a long bid too, like 15 years. But I only lived in there with him for 5 days or so because they came to my door and told me to pack it up because I got indicted. I had to go back to the county and get more time added on. So I just wanted to talk to y'all about the coffee situation. There's a lot of people who feel like they need this just to get through the day. Like they act like this shit is a substance or something. Because, that coffee is serious. People use it to work out, wake up. As soon as you wake up, take a piss, wash your hands, wash your face, brush your teeth. You know, if you're at Lebanon, dump out the fucking cockroach bag in the corner, the chip bag with 30 to 100 roaches in it, because it's a trap. Whatever the case may be for your morning routine. Once you've done all that, usually during the process, you're going to make up a cup of coffee. You and your bunkie. If one of y'all got it and the other one don't, that's normal cell etiquette, bunkie etiquette to, look out for each other. If I hit commissary this week and you don't, I'll carry us. And then if I don't next week, you better carry us because that's a mutual respect. If not, then they ain't on no real solid type shit and they're a bitch. And next time come around, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? If you try to look out for somebody and when they got it, they don't want to look out for you, it's a wrap, Jack. After that, fuck them. So that kind of takes me into the next part. There's a lot of people who are so bad off that they won't buy coffee or hygiene, just valuable money for commissary. So even though I did get strung out on strip, I smoked a lot of trees and I drank a lot of wine when I was incarcerated. But that strip, I felt like I had to have it every day. And even though that was the case, I still made sure I bought coffee. I still made sure I bought hygiene. You got people who expect to get that off other people. So let's say they got $50. They'll go buy $50 worth of actual shit that's money that people want, like fishes, meats, coffee, stuff like that. And then they won't open it. They'll use it as currency so they could go buy what they want. And then once that's all done, they'll turn around and ask everybody in the block for a shot of coffee. And motherfuckers will be like, hey, we just went to the store 2 days ago. I saw you with a $50 bag. And now you're asking me for a shot of coffee? Weird ass shit. I had a bunkie that used to do that all the fucking time at Richland. Like, we'd go to the store and he'd blow all his shit at the poker table. We got into an argument one day because he asked me for a shot of coffee. And I usually did it. Like, I hooked him up all the time. But on this in particular day, I felt like telling him about himself. And I said, you ain't buy no coffee? And he was like, man, I did, but I ended up, using it out on as money on the poker table. And I'm like, what happened? I lost. And he's like, can I get a shot or what? I ain't gonna lie. For like the whole day, I was a dick about it. I was like, nah, bro. I was like, you gotta ask somebody else. I'm like, you're being fucking very irresponsible right now. That you're expecting me to carry you because you want to spend all your money on the fucking poker table. You know what I'm saying? But then like 4 hours later, I felt kind of bad. He didn't say shit. He was just laying there watching TV. I went and hit a workout. I came back in. I made myself a cup of coffee before I hopped in the shower. I hurried up and grabbed his cup, made him a cup of coffee. He was just laying there moping around. He didn't have no money. He lost it all at poker. You know what I'm saying? He was just depressed and shit. I'm like, here. Gave him a shot of coffee to get him up and motivated because he was just fucking looking miserable. You have days like that. But he knew from that point forward to don't do that because he's seen that I'm capable of saying no. Even though I did give it to him, I did tell him how I felt, and that was the last time he did some weird shit like that. And what happened with me and him was we were cool. We never had no fights, no nothing. We were cool. We got into a couple arguments, but then as soon as I left and went over two streets over to Third Street, or my bad, one street over, because we was on Second. He had a new bunkie for like 3 days. One night I heard them fighting in the middle of the night, and dude slammed him and broke his leg, and he got time added on. And yeah, he was pissed because me and him lived together for 8 months. Never got into it. He gets this new bunkie on the third night. They get into a fight over the most pettiest shit, y'all. He told him that he kept moving the rack in the middle of the night. Never said some shit like that to me. That's how I felt like he was picking his shot with dude. It was a little short white dude. That's why I knew he was just picking his shot with dude, because he ain't never ever once said some shit to me like that in 8 months. We just had petty ass arguments over dumb shit because we were actually cool. We was boys. But then that shit happened with him on the third night, and I remember everybody telling me like he might have been mad that he felt a certain type of way, but just didn't say shit to you and let it build up, and then finally took it out on dude because he was a little 5 foot tall dude. He picked him up, slammed him, broke his leg. I've never seen him again. But I did hear that Richland County sent him back to the county and gave him like an extra year because he broke dude's leg. And then I seen dude walking around on crutches. Yeah, shit's crazy.